Hello everyone, and welcome back to Speak and Grow English. I have a question for you. Have you ever noticed that you can understand an English video, read an English article, or even write a message in English? But when someone asks you to speak, everything suddenly feels difficult. You pause, you overthink, and sometimes you decide not to speak at all. Why does this happen? The answer isn't always grammar. It isn't always vocabulary. Sometimes it's something much deeper. It's the way your brain reacts when it feels uncomfortable. Let's imagine two different situations. In the first one, you're sitting alone in your room. You read an English sentence out loud. It feels easy. Now imagine the second situation. You're standing in front of 3 people, and they ask you the same question in English. Suddenly, the same sentence feels much harder. The English didn't change. The situation did. That's because your brain doesn't only learn languages. It also reacts to emotions. When you feel relaxed, your brain works more freely. When you feel nervous, your brain becomes more careful. It starts checking every word before you say it. That's why many English learners think they have forgotten everything. But the truth is, they haven't forgotten. Their brain is simply busy, dealing with stress. Here's something interesting. Have you ever watched children learning their first language? They don't worry about grammar. They don't stop after every sentence to think it's perfect. They speak, they listen, they repeat, and little by little, they improve. As adults, we often do the opposite. We spend so much time trying to avoid mistakes that we stop enjoying the conversation. Imagine trying to learn football without ever kicking the ball because you're afraid of missing the goal. Would you improve? Probably not. Speaking English is no different. Every conversation is a change, to learn something new. Now, I want to think about your favorite hobby. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's drawing. Maybe it's watching football. When you first started, were you good at it? Probably not. But you kept doing it because you enjoyed the process. Language learning works best in the same way. If every speaking session feels like an exam, you'll always feel pressure. But if you treat it like a conversation, your mind begins to relax. Here's a small experiment you can try today. Choose one photo from your phone. Look at it for 1 minute. Now describe everything you can see in English. Who is in the picture? Where was it taken? What happened that day? Don't search for difficult words. Use the English you already know. You'll be surprised by how much you can say. This activity teaches your brain an important lesson. You don't need perfect English to tell a story. You only need the courage to begin. Another reason people feel shy is because they expect themselves to sound fluent immediately. But fluency is not the first step. It's the final result of many conversations. Think about building a house. Nobody starts with the roof. They start with a strong foundation. Your simple sentences are that foundation. Every short answer you give today makes tomorrow's conversation a little easier. So, never underestimate the power of simple English. One clear sentence is always better than one perfect sentence that you never say. There's another habit that can quietly improve your confidence. Become curious. Instead of worrying about how you sound, become interested in the conversation itself. Ask questions. Listen carefully. React naturally. When your attention moves from yourself to the conversation, speaking becomes much easier. Because real communication is never about showing perfect English. It's about sharing ideas. And that's what makes language meaningful. One more thing that many learners don't realize is this: silence is completely normal. When you stop for 2 or 3 seconds to think, it doesn't mean you've failed. It simply means your brain is choosing the right words. Even experienced speakers pause before answering difficult questions. So, don't rush. Take your time. A calm answer is always better than a fast answer that makes you feel uncomfortable. Now, I'd like to share a different way of learning English. For 1 week, stop asking yourself, how many new words did I learn today? Instead ask, how many times did I actually use English today? Those 2 questions have very different answers. You might learn 20 new words, but never speak a single sentence. Or you might use only 10 simple words and have a real conversation. Which one helps you more? Most of the time, it's the second one. Because language grows through use, not just through memory. Here's another simple idea. Create an English corner in your day. It doesn't have to be a real corner in your room. It can be 15 minutes, every evening when you decide, from now until the next 15 minutes, I'll think, read, and speak only in English. No translation. No pressure. Just English. When your brain knows that English has its own special time every day, it slowly begins to accept it as a normal part of life. And that's exactly what we want. Before we finish this part, I'd like you to remember one sentence. Being shy doesn't mean you're not capable. It simply means you're still becoming familiar with something new. Every confident English speaker was once in your position. They also searched for words. They also felt nervous. The only difference is that they didn't stop showing up. So from today, don't promise yourself that you'll speak perfect English. Promise yourself something much simpler. I will speak a little today and a little more tomorrow. Small conversations become big improvements. Small habits become strong confidence. And one ordinary day, you'll suddenly realize that you're speaking English without overthinking every single word. That's the moment you've been working toward all along. Thank you so much for listening. I hope today's conversation helped you see English in a new way. Take care of yourself, keep your curiosity alive, and most importantly, enjoy the journey of learning. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.